Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection ARC Trooper Umbra Operative from the Battlefront 2 game. He is one of the 3 ARC Troopers that came out for the Gaming Greats line. So without further ado, let's take a look at the card back. And this is a lovely card back, and you know, the colours of the Trooper are absolutely awesome. We know the figure well because it is a straight repaint of the figures that we got in the ARC Trooper 3-pack, the 501st 3-pack, Jesse, Echo and Fives. Straight repaint of that, but you know, they're decent figures and this one looks really good. I'm loving the black and the orange, and the image on the card back doesn't let us down either. You can see there Battlefront 2 in the logo. Very strange that they opted to end up putting it in there. Previous Gaming Greats that we've got are on a Star Wars chase with the game down here. Now, I don't have a problem with them doing it this way. I would actually prefer it like this. I always prefer the media to be in the logo up there. But the problem is the inconsistency, because they've already brought out figures on that Star Wars chase, which I think should be limited to A New Hope, basically. Any figures from A New Hope should be on the Star Wars card, just like the Kennedys. But because they gave us Dr. Aphra and the previous Gaming Greats figures, they've made a rod for their own back, and they've kind of changed it halfway through, which is a bit weird. And what can you do? The inconsistency's there. They can't really go back and change that now. But we've got the ARC Trooper Umbra Operative in the name pill. Lovely yellow name pill there. Really makes the figure in black pop off that bubble. Really nice. And I can confirm that these do too have the thicker cardstock, which is brilliant because the feeling of these is great. So far we've got the repack wave with Ahsoka, and now we have these Gaming Greats ones with the thicker card, and it really is thicker. He is VC237 in the line, and if you saw my previous video where I showed all of the figures that I've got recently, you would have known that also Shae Vizsla and Lando Calrissian are on the back of this card. So presumably these two aren't too far away, hopefully. Or it might be just the fact that they are also Gaming Greats and they needed to put some figures on there. But the fact that they're on there, that's a hope for me that we're going to get those quite soon. But VC237, we've got the Vintage Collection logo there, nothing else on the card. You know, almost 2/3 of it now is taken up by all that legal gumph, Disney and Hasbro at the bottom. And yeah, one more time, what a fantastic image that is. Really nice. So we're going to open him up and check him out. All right then, so here is the figure out of the packaging, and I've got to say it looks really good. I'm loving the paint scheme on this guy. Now, of course, the figure does have its faults from the previous figures that we've had using this sculpt, such as the pauldron rattles around a little bit when you haven't got the helmet on. The guns in the side holsters don't stay in overly well. Not as bad as the previous ones, I've got to admit, but these ones still do fall out and they're quite loose in there. But he does look awesome. All of the weapons are sculpted in like this grey plastic rather than black. I'm pretty sure that the 501st all had, you know, jet black weapons. All of these ones are like a gunmetal grey, but once again they don't have any weathering on them or any sort of paintwork at all. They are just literally grey bits of plastic. If I just turn the figure around, you'll see that I do have his blaster on his backpack there. The backpack is all one piece with the pauldron, so it fits over his head, and you can put that blaster on the side there, which is a nice little touch. I do like that. The figure itself does have loads of articulation, including rocker ankles, which we will take a look at a little bit later. But first of all, let's have another look at the paint scheme of this guy. So there you go. You can see that he's got some really nice paintwork going on with that yellow and black. It just looks pretty awesome, I've got to say. I'm not a massive player of the Battlefront 2 game. I have played it a few times, but I tend to use a skin like Bossk or something like that. And I've never really played it so much that I've actually ever encountered these guys in the game. But maybe they're just a skin or something, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know when these guys have appeared in the game. Maybe it's a particular level or something like that. But let's take a quick look at the figure close up, just so you can get a good look at that paint scheme on the helmet. He does have an articulated rangefinder, which is pretty cool, and that is super thin there. So that's a lot better than the ones that you get on like Boba Fett and things like that. That's a very thin piece of plastic, and it works really nice. You can see he's got his ammo pouch on that sort of chest piece. And once again, as I mentioned, all of that is one piece. So we're going to take that off in a second so you can see what the figure looks like without it. And we're also going to take the helmet off to take a look at the head sculpt. And there he is without the helmet on. And, you know, this particular head sculpt is fantastic. And I'm glad they're using it for loads of different things. I believe it's the same one that they used for the most recent 501st Clone Trooper that they reissued. It's like a standard clone head. So we haven't got like a tattoo or anything on it, like with Fives and Jesse. And he has the standard sort of haircut. Mine does seem to be missing a tiny piece of paint on the top of his head there. That's like your classic paint rub that you used to get on vintage figures. So I'm not really too bothered about that. But there he is. If we just give you a close-up of that head sculpt there. Look at that. Fantastic. Absolutely love these. You can't beat a clone. Now there he is without the armour on. So you can see that we've taken the pauldron off and it takes a piece of the chest armour away as well. If we just bring the armour piece in front of you here, you can see that it's all one piece with some nice paintwork on the front. And there's the blaster, which you can just take out. And it has that tiny sort of peg there for that peg hole. And there's the backpack with the shoulder pauldrons. Pretty cool. So there's the figure close up using his two mini blasters. They fit in his hands okay, and you can see what he looks like without the armour there, and it gives you a bit more detail of his arm printing as well. All the way down, right across those sort of wrist armours that he has. Really, really cool. Now, the complaint about this figure was always the fact that the Karma was made of plastic, because it's got all this sort of like webbing and strapping and pouches and everything on it. You know, if it was like the Arc Trooper and it was soft goods, then he would have so much more range of motion on the legs. And unfortunately, you know, it does restrict the legs, so you can't really get them out too far. So it does restrict the articulation. It does restrict the poses that you can get out of him. But in terms of the articulation, he has everything you need. Ball jointed head, shoulders, elbows, hinges at the wrists. He has a torso ball joint there. Ball jointed hips, the old style, not the new style that Bo-Katan has. He has a split at the thigh. He has knee joints, and he has the rocker ankles, as I mentioned before. But, you know, as I said before at the very beginning, these are just repaints of the 501st Arc Trooper, but I really don't mind. I like that we're getting more of these, and it's good to have these three that we're getting in the gaming greats. They're going to look very, very cool on the shelf altogether. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this review. Be sure to check out my channel when I will be reviewing the other Arc Trooper, the red and white one, which was exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store, I want to say. So be sure to check out that on the channel. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like down below. And thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members. And we shall see you on the next one.